Yeah,
Yo.
yeah. It's fucking cold
Yeah.
in here, man.
Let's go. Yeah.
The game is a sport and we causing a scene. We bout to kick it. If you been waiting on me to serve these raps, I'ma tip it. So the scale can't handle my bars, it's too heavy and it's vivid. The numbers going up, got the wire, ain't no limit. There ain't no limit. There ain't no limit. Ain't no limit. Ain't no limit. Ain't no limit. There ain't no limit. 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 Ain't no limit.
Welcome back to another episode of More Than Just the Game. And today we are on episode 30, The New Beginning. Probably the biggest episode we've ever had, arguably, you know. Things have changed today. Ghost is not here today. I don't know where the fuck he is. But we're still back. So I have a guest today, which is the reason I'm saying this is arguably the reason. This is arguably the biggest episode that we have on our platform currently. Ke na le Kgotmane ka hii. Ba meeting. He's gonna introduce himself just right now. Say the Kgotmane.
Nee, is it the
Who's that Kgotmane?
Nee, lovely.
Moja Kgotmane.
Shebile setup is very nice. It's
Ne?
straight and forward. It's again.
Bon, thank you, Kgotmane. Please introduce yourself to my people, Kgotmane.
Yeah, no. Kali biso ke Nathi Mosele.
Sure.
Nathi Mosele. Mfana motle baby to say.
Sure, Kgotmane.
Yeah.
So, Baba Khwiti ka your biggest single, SkaiketsaPoo. We'll get to that. We'll get to it in just a few. For now, we need to know Kgotmane personally, because most people just know you of the song, right? And the album, right?
Yeah.
So we want to reintroduce them to you.
Yeah.
Kgotmane was born and bred where? When?
Yo, ke kholela Sendlendane, my place of birth. There's a place called Peter Tief Mpumalanga. Peter Tief Mpumalanga. Go Driefontein. It's very far.
Yeah. So all the way from Ghana.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And then why it's like the parents.
Yeah.
So while I was growing up, so my mother told me like some misunderstanding between and
Sure.
so they had to like same time.
So about
More Magogo, yes, of course. But this more Magogo guy, and then I moved from Peter Tief Mpumalanga, Katlakashi to say. Hence learn go maybe get put some Nathi, leave it on Nathi.
Sounds like
and Nathi, then it's Zulu name, because Nathi. So like Banadula Magbam Potama, Nangos Nathi, and then Westwana, Pelastwana, you see. So I'm like, maybe Banasa Kesha for like, so I'm from that. Kaseka, I'm Zulu. My father is Zulu, and then Myoga. So yeah, look, Holela, look, then I came here.
And then came here, grew up
obviously I had to know my roots. And then so I had to visit Kakwa and then I cousin
So you speak Zulu?
I speak Zulu, I shy Zulu.
That's dope. So when did this journey start? From you coming here, and then growing up? Because basically your whole life you spent
my whole life is spent in the
So how try to sing? That's where you eventually fell in love with the music.
The music,
How do you meet the music?
I remember like I get it. Baba Khola Badula Bar Tote like Hanser Farhola. So I used to go kerekeng le nkgono wa ka, le my grandmother.
Sharp.
And then she said to me, like, like we born from fire, like, I used to sing. There was this song. In fact, that song in Tamil I've never even touched it. Yeah. There's this other song maybe that Chaba di Toile Sioni. Chaba di Toile Sioni. That kind of, yeah. So hence I'm saying, like, no man, go basing and keep plan. So she told me, like,
so to disturb.
Boroma, that's Wabana Roma. Yeah,
that's
Roma.
Like
Roma, and then like hole, and then like because of Negrata Katara, and then Yaitsorda Coco Bazalwani. Yeah, Christians that they know for like Hoteluri Katara that now usually go quoting and then Robert. So like now his skin in Sikarata Hopela Yalo, like Tobler, my grandmother, and our Tompel or not, that there's this so many Karata be now. So hello, and take a hole, and then there was this hot man who's on Yaga Mr. Kaza. Kaza in the hot man, and he had this big sound.
Can we shout out to hot man?
Yeah, Kaza, that one,
Sure,
yeah. So he had another sound when we did a modumo go this. So I was very interested as sound sound hot man in Lamonati or Hosrona Gunku some wireless man. Let's have nearly Mabato FM or something like that. Yeah, but Hotman, I was interested more like Neman. I need to reckon and take a Hotman for other music Otorata. He played like some Boys to Men, or Tupac, and then he played Snoop Dogg. But I was interested more something. Yeah, we are Boys to Men. So
the singing,
the singing part of it, exactly. So I had a friend of mine. He passed on. Mxolisi. So after school, almost every day after school, he might get Mxolisi. So I go primary by then. Policeman, when I heard money, what hotel? So we not all now. We are money rattan hotel. Sounding women at the door. I mean, how about then it's a shop around or let us in the Remian and Mogate team and listen to the sound. Name policy doesn't hesitate to almost every day. So the Hotman has a wabo on her name. This thing in the exactly. So Hotman wabo on her name and Bafanaba name. So Hotman as well. Eh, Bafit, Zogalani. No, Jabona, Malraton and Zeleta, Hotman, Rebile, impressed already. Barauda, Ratas Kupusa, sound how, what, bigger as a tone, or like, and Anarabella, which he gave us this idea. I don't know, man. Lady didn't just a music, isn't that game also. There was this, showing an maybe you've heard of it, but maybe it's a Top of the Pops. Top of the Pops. Yeah, I get a little Top of the Pops. So Arabafit, I need 4 of you. Like Limini, mind like about Boys to Men and stuff. Exactly. But I'm a hot man and we're singing. So we're very, very interested. And then Razama will take 2 good zone fella just to balance. So in Elena Police. So Rasumla Dreza answer is about here to the parents for approval. Yeah, so yeah, Canada this thing like Leratola, La Musicula Hora, what's up with the pop see. I can't answer my and do all those things. But then answer I bottom police but how it's all quality be, obviously. They had their own songs. Yeah. Or Loro Naragaza, like you say. So yeah, Canada. So I will say big up to Hotman Kaza because we installed the moro. Like yeah. So I've never so I want to impress me about this episode. I've never got Mlela like so life so money. I always talk in Jamud interviews about
he planted the seed.
Oh yeah, he did. So the love Akala and then that's when Baba Akala retreated and then
and I think a lot of people have the same story about Kaza because he plants
so I want basketball. Exactly. Yeah, so it's one of those niggas by Lord like
Yeah,
Nice growth, man.
he's
Nice
for
growth.
he's for growth,
For growth.
as youth.
Nice one.
Yeah. So as the journey goes on, the four of you now have a boy band, man. I heard that you, as the boy band, eventually got signed from
Yo,
that
bro.
point where Brakaza is now telling you guys and giving you guys the seat. At some point, you got signed. How did that happen?
Since Mxolisi, because we were the ones or like we rata this thing like from the core. That's what the next like you know after go metric bo re ne bitsa standard 10 after go standard 10 I'm not music bagolo ba sa batla ba prating music. So the guys
you guys had the talent.
We had a talent. We just needed for like to le batho ba right ba khona go and then the other two bone bana le teng, but then pula bona then this scale and all that we had to part ways right zama two movie give up we heard of this other guy Impulse. It's a great DJ. Impulse musicians. He's a very awesome DJ so and a producer as well, so yeah Ratsolabo never too, and then we called ourselves that time Boys to not Boys to Men. There was this other band, Boys in Town. Boys in Town. Boys in Town. There was a band go Karachi. Ya hanta temo kobo. Ananale Karachi. So when that Karachi la mukasile, there was this. Yeah, there was this time the owner before those ones. There was this time abamita temo kobo. Hands really for we always sing a cappella, but Raut on an instrument. I get on that magazine. The rest of what is happening to name. I don't in that. Exactly. So about no man. Our band repeats the Boys in Town. So never really trusted in the fellow hotel. And then they give us Baba Gardner, Binanda, Shapa Capelle, I remember 100 what that no, Emma, Leboma, Ramacalo says, no. Tena len zeli there is a band. So the love that color this thing.
The cracks, bro. We were every day.
I know every day. We perform Kubu Stadium. The next side set the Machenzi Badala then one remove. Hono Shapari Pinnas at Popo is too many live. You know, the both twins. There was this song. The BAU was big. Shona Pans, there was big song. They're twins. Maybe just Shona Pans. So we sing those songs. So along the run, you know,
that's dope. So look up on a little BMG Africa thing there.
BMG Africa, Rahola Hela Lorana BMG Africa, I think 1999. 1999. Replay music game of it. Now I still somebody can scale. The guys were never sit by matriculated and all over. So I was the only one who said it. Like, by then we need to go there. Sorry, play la nada. We next about to some money before I was meditate. When the very spiritual. Yeah, the corner with the Jonyana for some hours. Rappel and then we changed our name from Boys in Town to Brotherhood. That's when we changed our name from Brotherhood to yeah. So yeah, and then Baholo Bataloha. Now I was doing grade 11. I was doing grade 11. I had to do grade 11, le grade 12. And I started 9 less than 10. Yeah. So, Jozi out.
After matric immediately.
Bro, before, maybe, so the gens are fit. So, we're going to have to wait for you for 2 years. There's a plan because when even advantage for your mother, Jozi,
so when
it's gonna be much easier. And I know, let me tell you this, Jozi, for music, but we didn't know that's the sad part about the
that's the story for many people who are in love with music.
Exactly.
Out of the love and almost applying
but then at least I'm so happy like we always had our mother like no if and we always do that because now advantage my sister she had to but then I had to squeeze the guys do like so every day so now BMG Akalamo or this BMG we can walk from
Because look at Jozi.
Jozi, from town Rawoka, from Auckland Park. Then about the BMG right all.
Yes.
So
Which is now called Sony, I think.
Exactly, which is now called Sony BMG. Before then it was Sony, it was BMG Africa. It was BMG Africa before, but collaborated with Sony, and then now it's Sony BMG. So we went there almost every day, bro. I never swing non-stop. I get to go to office, but I so I can level man, the brotherhood, the sisters, the brotherhood. I get to go receptionist, but I or like that. So Hansaria, we met a guy called Blaze. Blaze is a colored guy. Yeah. And he's I think head now you know to Cape Town. But because BMG Negiratela in another section of gospel, in another section of jazz, in another section of Kwaito, R&B, yeah, in another section. So we knew Horaraka Tola was section around. But we know Maganja. So now this is the Omo receptionista not dular file or normal. This guys badula bata almost every day here. Blaze go over it. I reckon I feel a minute because Lene she guessed horror. Maybe today back and then yes we did try. I got that matter Blaze. I guess I'm really. I like you Blaze. Tenanko number bukana. Hey, next wow, this is BMG because before there was BMG, Galo, Big Five, Universal, without those companies, before Nelly, you were like, Blaze introduce you guys come here almost every day. So Nagidu like everybody told some artists there was TKZ on BMG. There was TKZ. Yeah, they were go BMG. Yeah, there was TKZ go BMG, Bohweza, you know, those they're like most Boo, Maloya. So yeah. So I'm always busy Blaze, but then I'll give an ear. Sing something for me. We always read. We always read. Arabes, Shapa Capeleng, Blaze was interested. I do like I do like I know. We do like what no, but then the guys were never finished, at least metric. So we're here for the music. I don't know, man. I get the appointment alone. We can tell the we went there. We had this keyboard, the corner program, because I always play keys. I play keys. So, and already, Blaze, I produce. No, and I do. So, Yakala more this thing, and then at a Blaze is Blaze are fleeting around, like something of so we had to remote less something. Radala program. I invited this other governor manager, TKC. Yeah, I think he passed on. David, he passed on. Yeah, may his soul rest in peace. I'm invited just to hear like and take you can Arabadet. So because I'm not in the program, I had the smaller and keyboard program. So always play before raise or okay. This is a song that we're gonna sing. But maybe because she told us literally, but and then yeah, we did that. They were impressed. But challenge but okay. I'm not promising you all a sign, but get the boss Boss Abonero, he was Dave Thompson. Dave Thompson can go BMG. But then get like a homeless, but I'm interested on signing you with it. I love this thing. But first, I mean, I don't know what I want like I remind the situation. We know what it is. I mean, I'm like, yeah. Horror is our promise. Give me a change. I want some very little of it to get a right one. So Dave Thompson, I'm impressed. Horror impressed. Blaze, let's go and record a demo. A demo about 4 songs. So Horiki was a boss. Sure. Let's go to studio and organize it. There was a BMG had their mini studio and recording there. I know below dinner really like I'm like yo. We've never experienced this such sound. The very same studios at TKZ in the record board things we're there. The record. I like this killing an attack. Record about 4 songs. The songs are not done, the engineers were there and everything. The songs they're not sharp. And then I said Blaze I used to go Dave Thompson. Dave Thompson was taken away, blown away. He called us. Arabafeto, Rebanga is a contract. Hey, life, bro.
No, I want to get to that.
Hey,
you
bro.
Guys, some of you are freshly out of high school. You are still in high school. So what kind of deal are you guys signing? Because chorus life.
Exactly. Bare tlanyana ka more like a is it 360?
Yo, that's the deal you guys got.
Vethu. Hey, what? So, hey. Hey, bro. I don't know. We hungry.
So you didn't even read the contract, Kisho.
Bro. If more on a road cafe, like an contract. Babo.
Bali feel the copy.
And I did copy. Can I look copy? I can want some bafolo. Conditional copy, my care copy, phone copy. So now this is where it gets tricky. I get no refill or no barra lora. What? The contract. Flop, Canada. You don't, bra. Yo, wait, hey, bra. The spirit did come on.
Yes.
The spirit. I say both by Lord Bacana happy for
genuine.
For genuine, yeah. Because signing with BMG was big for us in a little. We signed with BMG. It was big.
So you guys showed back to the contract,
bro. After as I was saying, immediately I was saying, that deal. Rezang. They were introduced somebody other kind of produce. It was huge, so hey, that bra was more production. It was whatever that we did. Nagi drilling one production and then
amplify.
You tend to something real like bro, like those R&B and because I know was a Mxolisi so I know but then Renzer like R&B. It was more African but R&B. So it was nice, but then little do we know about breaker at high yeah, signing the BMG from Canada. Bro, why eat? I see what I eat. For Baba Fan. Nothing.
Yes.
No. Baba, I get excitement. Blaze. It goes back to Blaze. Blaze a Kaloku, Baba. A Kaloku, Blaze. Yeah, bro. Just after time, Rebo.
After the record EP.
Record EP, I remember Billy. Baba Blela Rene. Have Sagreko Hotel. There's a place called Jozi by Bisa Hotel. There was a studio there, big studio, nice one. On a swimming pool. Arabona Rona, Bafeto Fitili. We are in. Then after what TKZ Rona. I remember just that please sell us a TKZ. We were coming. Now what the next scale? I remember what scale Sakane. Basbita can knowledge is visual academy Kiva, then the Kiva. I always perform got the top perform a magic. I invite sometimes about the Valentine Day. The second year, like every month for Hopatelo, my sister, God bless her, because she was always there for an affordable scale. Every month in a patelo, in a private school. In a private school. But then the last year, like I did a metric. Sister relax.
How you battle?
Sister relax. I know go BMG. Can I advance? I advance. We roll and that way. I want roll and I had to Capatella the whole year.
So estimation, your first advance in a look.
Waity the way as I excitement in the Rebesagati. Then as I carry more, because Blaze and Trastaka more like Blaze, and as I disclose, hurry, Bafet, little 300,000, and as I exclusive those kind of things, and as I exclusive, but then from Seki City, Negis or like. Like this is the kind of month hence sometimes the contract if you don't go what the bala send they were not sure and then invite lawyers and stuff no problem
no problem because you don't know
but then bro we had sponsors Puma it was nice like Puma is still big even now, bro. So remember back then. So I so I try to go this thing.
You are now 4 friends in Jozi that are living the life because of BMG.
Yeah. So
go etsagalang da le
I get movie le out to
release a
thing
EP.
before. Yes. We've never got to release the EP.
why not?
That's the tricky part. We've never got to release the EP. Blazer Kalakula, Alwana le boss wa gagwe, you know, like
The Dave Thompson guy.
Yeah, le Dave Thompson. But there are some arguments. I remember Blazer phone la ba fetso. Come through office, ra office. O dula lona ha se Blazer ba fetso. From what about to people blend to one like, hey, I'm going back to Cape Town. Like I'm going back to Cape Town and I'm worried. Exactly. And what's when you learn you're more Babo. Ronaldo Dumoulin to one, even if they never by the pressurize or no, you want our money back.
At least the blazing sharp enough to get you out of the deal.
Exactly. But then they had the masters. When I saw the masters, we tried Rabalwan Saga the masters, but then Ulwan sang a big dog. When now we just a little boy.
They spent money more
so they had to keep the masters.
And they didn't even make money.
Exactly. They didn't even make the money out of us. But then Bonner is actually then say I had to travel the corner of the high and then when they spend hell and also could be fast. Yeah. And then Canada. Believe you me, after such life, we went back to the street. Rabuela was strategic.
So you guys no longer have a place to live.
We don't have a place. See, back to my mother. Oh lady, I that's a mashup.
Fuck, that man
Blaze veil or promise our like okay, it'll drill a plan elsewhere. But you had to wait. Then waiting game me and we are fans.
And you give like
like but it's not why how about we go back home? No. Never not disagreement. No, are happy.
I'm not gonna have to win.
So we did to cook fella or like regular rappel but reduce to go starting for about 5 days. Was starting. After that issue of Blaze and BMG, Radula was starting for 5 days.
So listen a little body allowance in
BMG drop everything Blaze what's a mail changing an hedile
same day
hedile. Mind you, Naki was gala, you come now at least. But then Mudimudre Luzungam come again. Like you believe now what Halazanga Cheltanaga, big battle scale, like Robert. But at least I knew for I have my sister. At
least I was a no,
especially Nanakidula Jaspolo, Majabana worried. So, Koflete, before it move, Banadula Zamana, Barabana Marconata, man, because do the Penny Maholo Banorma Basa Fara, the logo out of my father was a taxi driver who Tengo Juvek, Mobray taxi rank, boy MTN, Nelunguzi, Leba. So we went to NF for assistance. So yeah, we to well go for the assistant staff. Even though we're not reform, but we buy a gasmo over. Rasumla Resnika in my mother's place of work. Or my house board. Okay, for myself, more Nabana Saman because they know.
So my gen,
the guy. So I had to take one for the team, but it's worry, sneaking and I can't go on. I got it on guy. About the well strategy. But then the Dorozamu Jimmy come hands are like the wife, yeah, I got name Magaberganti. Which hello lady something I get one and I go to our bus and stuff. I have this old lady, but Miss Abaraki to know. To know more like there's a poetry, Honale singers, Honale Baba Shapan drama. It's more like a Umoja. There was this that I represent Umoja Nele Art Center. So to know she had a similar, yeah. Babies are magic. Magic. You know, I remember my mother on Thursday because we had one phone back then. No share phone. Wrote how about so but then we had to go there Saturday. And then as well, researcher no, let them come through on Saturday. Hey, we had to most of the following day, which is Friday, and then see, so just to renovate, just to renovate, Parkstation, I think there was this big screen. Like your transport, maybe it's like a woman two pakela, like so. I like I get there's always security. Security was but it moment.
Like
Our Shapa, no remedy takes a Kimberley. I get razor, etc. On but for like Kimberley, can raise recover. So we had to move from different move. Security in now or name, so yeah. Saturday. There was this time what face about the pastor Lene his soul rest in peace. It was a security and then another tower the bag. I get the baggage was in me another tower the bag. And then on Saturday we had to require or go to know. Already lady Abrego Quaid.
Yeah.
General transport so when I met Parkstation at Larlat, outside was Arnakai, Coco Tamil Ramobella, time he was a security and I see what by the time I remember. I go to know where could be is it Saturday? There's drama, we are impressed now. There's a big lad and yeah, and I'm actually Mulidi often and so Raken and I go to know. But stop immediately as an after introduction. Okay, who are you guys? Let's work out and stuff. I'll let her know. Another brother who from Mxolisi, place called Mxolisi go northwest. Okay, let's say Mona like no Raupela and stuff. Like she didn't even hesitate to sing.
Sure.
We always ready. We were always ready. We always ready. And then there was also a group like there was a group. It's on a little like so. Khalil or something like that. They were impressed, bro. Immediately, what was Redula guy? No, Redula was strategy.
Sure.
Baba they laughed, but it was ineligible. But it was fun, ineligible. But to know get married la blela driver the beggars are not okay ramlela or no our bags to go down no kai no let's go we didn't believe
sure
we didn't believe so it did so yeah
no, that's
how we went
good, so now that you are in this space now, this creative space where number one, like relation, number two, like relation for sure,
resetted, yeah. But here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. Yeah, Tunoka was she was so spiritual. Like every day, Kabuma 5 o'clock. This is a challenging part because we're not we missed like having peace of mind. Like what the pillows are fresh. So another blell by the 5 o'clock. We need to wake up. How meditate or how do I? I call more this thing. So so yeah, I call this thing or no. Every day, 5 o'clock, let's walk, now meditate and do all that stuff. It was challenging, but then we learned. Lenama, what chicken and where to sneak in.
At least she's a very, very good person.
Too much.
So the thing is, you managed to achieve from living with her.
Yeah. And then by then, we're a little relaxed. So we had to. And then I have more work, office work and stuff. We always wanted to sing. That's how we was doing. But then I remember now there's some energy between us. That's this brother who do. So the guys who prefer we about them more. Because now we always wanted to sing.
Imagine
more client on office work. So Wabo.
No, ke go ka fot man. Dumelang bagolo.
Wabo.
So hey, so bileta, we na go lava yena, o la bloma.
Re blomile, but then it was tense. Asa tlhelo go tswana shabole majita, you know. Hey, go simola go na di quarrels in there. And then I told Mxolisi, so nna mfethu, hey, nna ke a vaya because go na le di money issues. So we've been performing, but they're totally next, all of the stuff. So we had to, nna ke a vaya. Mxolisi a sala.
Mo tlogela ka da.
Re no wa sala. Wabo, ke ra nna ke a vaya. Wabona. But then I'm follow. I remember 2002 azogala. And then, yeah, it was a majita. Majita bona ba spana ko tuno ke dia good. Wabo. Wabo. So azogala gada and then arakala fast happy. It's a Jew yeah, I'm going to back home now. Wabo. It's a Jew rakala ko hasele recordings. We always lucky because we knew but like Ronald that thing like when we sing when we record someone who interested tomorrow so rakala go dira demo somewhere ko outing ko bana mitsa like I remember
so let's not still come and say to no this thing here failed that
yeah but then ya no rakala se Jew really too or maybe we belong together. Maybe this thing, and then we did. And then we did that. And I record a happy demo. I answer record a useful that guy name. You guys don't need a demo, man. You are professional singers. How about you do album? It's 2023, I remember. How about you do an album? Like, idea. So, there's only so, on our version of the album is done. So, this guy, friend Arona, he had this car, Benchanya, now. Jozi, now there was one time to see you around, and then there's always this thing. I get Mxolisi by then, but this time because he was like my brother, best friend. So I had to go to sister Laka, go Jozi, Kablo. That's when everything started. Mxolisi was for accident.
Yes.
Lela, Chi, money, and then Abatlhokafala. Same time both. Batlhokafala both. Babon.
Album ke ye go shebisa no majita ba veil.
Majita ba veil album ke ya no. Studying back to square one. But then there was a time I got for hell. Babon. Ke la tlhela thabela this thing it's not
cause come
on.
I mean go tsala
depression. Ya no ke tsana ke one no must this thing.
And gape no gape le strength sa go tlo simola gape
so now we had to arrange those about my funeral and hona go like Nathi walla we tsang wa bona you only best friend that man you know do the money it was more like abuto ha go bona so tsa go latse hadi and then you are le entertain that's where I met Moketsi Mafa Mongesta way back wa bona a re fetse go tlile gore like Mxolisi veile you guys wa bona so le bona ke bona se ba dira music so o need so you guys le tlhoka like re na le sound re ka gona go hasela sound somewhere around or at least we fitlhe ka dignity that's what we did exactly that's what happened so Mxolisi Mangesto can and I'm fathering like I can still do this because now I give up no I'm here we can do this I got the plan and then career how I want to read and as far so yeah
so then from that time letting you upon yourself and you are working on an album oh it's
I get something hustling and the gig around the solo I don't remember the guys are gone the solo you know I had to start all over happy make it many times so but then it has been a journey so kakala no hustling gigs and Salina like a Nathi hanzi kinzi na le bona majita wa bona but then ntse ke ba bolela ke ga ke fuwe this thing ya ga Mxolisi man gore like ke mo celebrate ba bona somewhere wa bona so I call that thing I dira hela ya lo ke la bona be ke thola big break ya ka ne kopana le Brown Mofikwe
Brown
ya my manager Se Brown ana rata go mpona ke rentse ke heta mo itseng ba itse go na le mokete ra go pela and stuff G string guitar string it was this band that
So you were part of that
was
band.
me and Sofatso and then
Ke gopola leina le go na le mongwe o kile a tla this phola ba bua ka yone.
so re ne re le mo ke ne le party ya bona ke gopola nako tse le tsa brother boot ke like no since ke itse game magita ka nna wa bona but then I had to go solo and then ke feel like some money to do this thing from police wa bona so ya kala fela yalo this thing and then ka gopola le brown re we Nathi mana tlamile ke re plan man dintsha ngela I need to make an album and I sure I have songs for days I need to dira I know how to spot and then brown ang introduce ako go dilise motsa tebe kene then I had 3 managers another time
all of them you have contracts with
Renale contract dilise only dilise because he was the one who was putting money
okay
Kariso botlhoko the late Kariso botlhoko may so rest in peace abokene the guy wa go sebisi kena na ana uka fela go like ke simola go nna busy wa bona na tsena tsa bona tla ba fetso nna ka spana le lona nka thusa ka radio nka thusa ka TV and stuff and then ka go thora it's supposed to be PR no like it so right cala this thing really close 4 of us wa bona team ngwe strong o mongwe dire so ra itse ra sainile wa bona so boom
yeah independent
ke signile ke qala go sana le diliseng yana se solo
sharp
ke sala le diliseng contract ya jara
sharp
if it doesn't work out
diliseng is a record label
diliseng ke utsengo wa Manzo Made Productions diliseng is a record label Manzo Made diliseng saw my talent ba bona ka gobela kana le meeting lane he didn't hesitate after 2 weeks umbuketse go Jozi I had to go back to just to record
so contract eo intse yang eno yana because I last time you experienced contract le
I didn't clean it maro mala like
it doesn't
because this is not like but then whatever he had and I make sure so I really clean I don't want like but for jara we said it for
they signed it for
it worked for jara
yes
for if this thing has fun of man like we will part ways is fine if I'm not it's more like it was more like a friendship
so that signing is what gave birth to Dinonyane
that signing did everything I went to Jozi I get to Jozi thinking about to produce the way they believed in me thinking about to produce about no Nathi can do this thing no brass must have a producer when I compose a new album I'm like Babo, and I know the woman queen that you cool spot. Yeah, I don't go.
An ear for production or
never that man can produce. I'm like, that production I guess what? Come on, guys. I did my thing, bro. I did from track 1, from Bopo, Dinonyane, from Kibwela High. There was this. Before that one, Kit that Yagal Kit is a remix. There's this Kibwela High. It's just pop. Wow, it's just pop,
bro. So that entire album was produced by you.
I produced my own album, but you go to whatever on platforms where I produced everything. They produced and it worked.
Nice.
I produced myself.
So I wrote it myself. Is you collaborating with Nathi on I Believe before or after you release?
That was before.
Before you released?
That was before I released. I remember it was 2010.
Yes.
And because I met Nathi through Mafiro. I'm playing the skill. I don't think music anyway, but then because they were friends then. So I'm playing maybe we can something chill because and he did. That's when Rashapa, I wrote, I believe. I believe I wrote it, I produced it as well.
Yeah. I believe. Man, that was once the soundtrack to my
exactly. 2010, 2011, 2012. I know that.
That one bit.
I know Dinonyane, boom. Dinonyane, boom. At the peak.
Tell me about that experience. But man, what happened?
Yeah, that experience was nice. But
how much of a reach do you think your brand made? Because, hey bro, I like go to Porsche and say Nathi.
Exactly. It was usually it was overwhelming because like somebody say because like
rough background.
Man, I reach you because cool sport they told me. But if you struggle, got this sound because hey, you are doing big things here. I would come back to us or dealing and distribution. And as well. But now we had 200 things market right. Imagine the demand the whole. The minute the pin shop already demand was huge. Power song was CD power. We had to
so distribution delay and
exactly we had to go back Google Sport but I signed up for distribution and
how many CDs did you make?
Yo, many CDs. Yo, the buy it's sold. Even though when I see clear they have never been. I haven't given that clear. These guys. Unless maybe no, but almost. I think he reaches a goal. I will say.
No, I did.
Bro. I did. Goal make it reach it. I don't want like. Because these cities are getting the regular workout kicks. Just because of one song. People knew. Yeah, people knew that song. And I had classics as well more. That's why I had to redo Kibuela High again. So yeah, I did. But at the peak, yeah, there this album. Yeah, Dinonyane.
Yeah.
Brown Atogafal.
Yes. What's the deal with that shit?
Yo, bro, Atogafal and then Katalaga Slope. You know what? It be like more than anything. Boom, 2015. There's this other night now. 2015. Bro.
I think I hope because all of us thought it was
and then they told me exactly. Everyone thought it was me.
Oh, I thought it was you coming back.
And I know KG from SABC, KG, my manager. KG, we're gonna have a problem here. I don't when it's gonna be a problem because we sign go motherland. Get what up. I get late. My KG hey bro, it was a problem. Nathi skyrocket.
Yes.
Wow. I get depression because like uncle, where one lie. At the peak album uncle. So people think why not I even radios made mistakes.
So sharp the hype
exactly. For himself. And I will say it wasn't really the blessing these guys. If I go Spotify, you are checking Nathi. Timo catalog so every time I go to Nathi, obviously, and he blew like and he blooms and off.
Hey, so now your name can still be there. So when you release, it might have
so since that time in Nathi, and then there's always natural confusion in anything. But I had to lay low. I had no choice. That guy was big. I had no choice.
You probably
I felt like he took my shine. I felt like that. I felt like he took my shine that year. 2015. It was a bad year.
That's fucked.
And then I had to lay low. I just stayed to the other night. As well. For man, color confused at this thing. Not to open Zulu.
So otherwise, the stages that you performed in.
I performed all over. I performed to Taun Calabash. I performed to Ditobota Diamond Festival. I performed for Bopoch Dam. I performed.
So your name is out there.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker almost stole your shine.
I did. Hey.
I heard.
Yeah.
You and Kets are working on a new album, bro.
Yeah, we do. It's a great album.
When is it coming out? Is it
and then it's funny enough. Not funny enough, in fact. The album is called Mxolisi.
Oh,
I've named after my best friend.
No,
it's a classic album. We did. Yeah, I know.
That's the
guy that I was singing.
Sophomore. That's your second album.
It is my second album. So I've been doing singing. And low negative production, more into production, how to produce because I wanna groom the artists, especially singers. But hence we see Mamaki Motokwel. Mamaki Motokwel.
Serious?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mama
bro, that's my
Kimoto,
big sister, bro. And she's supposed to come to the pod as well. It's
yeah, now she has to.
Give it a like a girl, you know,
Mama Kimoto will tell you what it's affair. So,
no, that's why she wants. In fact, she once wanted to invite me on one of her albums to come and rap on
okay,
something,
nice,
but it didn't eventually materialize. But
okay.
she has a ear on my raps. Yeah.
Nice one.
I've even performed here, and I think Awangacho could perform because she likes my performance.
So it's nice. At least it tells you something. So,
yeah, no.
So because that we're working on Mxolisi, it's done. I'm gonna release it 2020. Yeah, it's done. I'm gonna
plugging you guys. Plug. When is it being released?
2026
next year.
Early 2026. Yeah, like a re-release. The single, yeah, that's what. There's this song called Bofere Fer. Anytime when I just check her, that's why anytime from now.
Yeah.
Before Kudie we drop it. The single called Bofere Fer.
Yeah,
that's what. Introduction now I'm back.
Yeah, officially plugged.
I have kids. So so yeah, and shout out to Kes Moremedis. He's one nigga on the Lord like squeeze, and then he took everything in, because he had to acquire sound work. But exactly, but the talent, that guy.
No, okay,
who blind the blind.
I like a kid.
Production, who blind the blind.
Cat has 9 lives.
Yeah. And he's eager to work. He came with a name for courage or like, let's do this. And then we did.
That's nice.
We did.
We're waiting on the album.
Mxolisi.
We hope to hear it soon.
Exactly.
No, Godman, thank you for pulling up to the pod. You can come back and promote the album anytime.
Exactly.
You can come back to the podcast anytime you wish.
Yeah, so people should look out. Nathi Mosele, Mxolisi.
Coming out.
You can also go or Nathi Dinonyane. Classics.
Coming out.
Yeah,
so
nice one.
See you guys on the next episode of More Than Just a Game.
Yeah.
This was a classic episode. Mxolisi is coming out next year. A new single is coming out before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Don't say I can't. I'm always gonna be plugging you. Thank you for the
lovely. Thanks. Thanks, Andra.
As a podcast. Oh yeah.